I love writing cinematic orchestral music. Creating the theme for a TV show or film can really be the pinnacle of creativity. The key though to this genre is in its name, an orchestra. But like most people, I don't have that at my disposal every day. So I want to share with you a technique which helped me unlock this genre. Playing an instrument that you've never played before in a way that it isn't meant to be played. I'm talking about playing the guitar with a violin bow. I'm neither a guitarist nor a violinist, so the idea of combining both instruments would kind of seem counterintuitive. When you're restricted by a defined parameter, you're forced to complete your objective with only the tools you have at hand. The defined parameter of not having access to a real orchestra inspires the use of the tool, virtual instruments. They'll give you access to an orchestral palette without actually having to hire and record real players. Virtual instruments alone won't yield the same result as real players. So, let's use this defined parameter to inspire the use of another tool and ultimately give us an answer. The tool I use is just adding real audio on top of the virtual stuff. It gives your sound a unique character, which is unique just to you. You could record some percussive tapping sounds with household objects, but I want the sound of real strings. I want the sound of that bow contacting a string. So, let's take a guitar and a bow and make some music with it. First thing you've got to do is tune the damn instrument. Now, I've already sat down at the instrument I do play, the piano, and come up with a melody and chord progression for the piece I want to write. Because I'll be trying to replicate this melody on the guitar, where I'm incredibly unfamiliar with the fretboard, it's important that I'm clear on exactly what I want to record. Remember your limitations too. I'm not able to quickly switch between notes, and my intonation is probably going to be pretty dodgy. So, I've created a melody that's slow, with long legato notes. There's less room to mess things up, and just way fewer notes to record. Next is the simultaneous process of learning this part and recording it as I go. This is not good time. I want to be ready to record as soon as I manage to get something. I'm really just going to chop up the melody into bite-sized chunks and record each bit at a time. Eventually, I got all the melody. I added a bunch of effects and processing, so don't worry about a few out-of-tune notes as you're recording. Remember, this bowed guitar is just one tool to add realness and texture, something unique to everything else I have going on in the music. Next, I want to add a bass layer to this melody. I'm actually going to triple track this bass line. What I've got to do is head back to this chord progression that I made earlier and essentially just play the root note of each chord. I'll spread them left, right and center. I do like a little bit of character in the sound though, because of course this is just one of the many layers that exist in the track. Something a little off here or there I don't think is going to make that much of a difference. In fact, it might even add a little bit more of a human element to the track, which I really like. Now, let's process the sound. I've got all the audio and it sounds like this. I've programmed in all the other orchestral parts, the synths, and all the custom layers for this music. If you want to know how I created the rest of the track, drop a comment and I'll make a video about it. So let's listen to everything all together at once. So, that's the guitar violin bow.